Don't worry, Intel's not dead, just relax. Meta might want to tighten, though, their security standards because something was found in a hotel room, and we also found the 4090. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast. And today's top story is going to be some discussion surrounding details that have been coming out from the tech YouTube community about how Intel's discrete graphics department is being killed off due to it being a money sink, due to it just not being something that the executives want to continue, and that it is being killed. But also, on the other hand, there are plenty of refutations coming out from both Intel side as well as the media side saying that, like, oh, this isn't real. So there was a video that came out towards the end of last week about how Intel's Z Odyssey is over, discrete arc is effectively canceled, and in that video by Moore's Law is Dead, there were sources provided stating that Intel's putting on a good face. They're not actually going to be a good competition, not even in the first or second generation. Arc is finished and the decision's been made at the top to end discrete. So that is officially the word. But if you go to the top of Intel's discrete GPU department, Raja Koduri, he tweeted a couple things just 23 hours ago from the time of recording, and being asked by G-Tech George, what's this? I've been hearing about Intel potentially bringing the axe down on Intel Arc after just 2 generations. Raja Koduri, who is the top of Intel's graphics department, says, we are shrug about these rumors as well. They don't help the team working hard to bring these to market. They don't help the PC graphics community. One must wonder, who do they help? We're still in first gen, and yes, we've had more obstacles than planned to overcome, but we persisted. So, coming from the top of Intel's GPU department, things are still moving along, to which more YouTubers came out and said, the rumor looks to be about the next gen or possibly the generation after. No one claimed that Alchemist was canceled. Do you have a comment on future architectures and Intel's commitment to them? Raja Koduri tweeting the picture of the future roadmap, saying attaches what we said in February 22 and are continuing to execute this strategy, to which the response to that was, that doesn't completely deny that Arc high-end D GPUs are canceled. With it being said, that's what I was thinking as well. It's merely a point to the architecture. We shall see, I guess. Which I just kind of want to point out that these accusations are coming from one side. Intel is saying, we're not canceling anything. We're still sticking to our roadmap and executing on that strategy. And then everybody's like, but are you? You didn't directly say that what somebody said was a lie, so therefore there's still room for interpretation. And that's just putting the burden on somebody who didn't even say anything to justify what you're thinking in your mind about everything that's going on. Intel being pretty clear on their side, we are still executing on the strategy that we set forth over 6 months ago, and then for people to come back and be like, but are you really? It's not just the only place that this happened with GamerMeld and Raja Koduri, but this also happened with Dr. Ian Cutress over on Twitter, with somebody asking, there's rumors of the Intel dropping its card business. Ian Cutress saying, very matter-of-factly, they're not, to which the response was, are you sure? Moore's Law is Dead claims so. And then Ian Cutress said, sorry, I forgot Moore's Law is Dead was the authority. So essentially, it's just a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of he said, they said, and it's really like Intel is the only one who can confirm this. Intel has been very public facing about their failures and trappings with regards to the Intel GPU department, how they are not living up to what they wanted to do, and there are going to be some limitations, but they're being very forthright with that. And so when they're forthright by saying nothing's been canceled either, it does give me more reason to trust Intel as opposed to just reports that are coming out from sources that aren't being confirmed by multiple outlets. It's just really one place that's saying this, and then it's kind of being spread throughout the internet, not necessarily being brought up everywhere. So it's a tricky position. There's a lot of accusations flying. I think Intel has been very clear that they are not winning 100% with their GPUs, which also makes me trust them more when they say they're not shutting anything down. They've actually been very forthright as opposed to being quiet on the matter. But at the same time, I think it does bring up a very good point that I think I see a lot in the comments when it comes to articles and discussions we have here on Hot News, as well as other places where people are just like, this is why you can't trust YouTubers. They make shit up all the time. And I don't necessarily think that anybody in this situation is making things up, but Raja Gadori asks, who does this help? Well, it helps the people who actually, business is to get people to click on the videos and the articles that they're writing. Whether or not something is true doesn't mean that it can't be run as a headline, and whether or not something is 100% vetted as opposed to 75% vetted doesn't mean that it can't actually be put out into the ethos for people to debate. Whether or not it's true is not part of the culture anymore. It's whether or not people care. And there's certainly been tons of things that we've covered on Hot News that haven't come to fruition, that actually don't end up developing into real things. There was tons of reports that Nvidia was going to cancel the 3090 Ti. That never ended up happening. But I think one of the things that I've always tried to bring to Hot News is the idea that I am taking what's out there, filtering it for you guys and saying, hey, this is a possibility. I try to disclose when things are rumors, when things are speculation. Do people have a good track record of indicating what's going on? Or is this something that's just kind of made up? I choose to filter out a lot that I see, and I'm just like, there's actually no sourcing to this. This is one source saying something, and the rest of everybody else is not validating that. So why would I bring that to my audience? Unless you guys really care and it's being talked on other YouTubers' channels where the conversation bleeds over into Hot News, where people are like, did you hear what Moore's Law is dead said? And I'm just like, yeah, I heard it, but like, I can't find any other substantiation, so I don't know why I would bring it up until it's validated by another party, because it's just like the sourcing on it isn't there for me to talk about it. But if you guys want to have his opinion on it, go watch his channel. It's great. It's a complicated mess. Everybody wants to be the first to know. Everybody wants to be the first to break. And it just creates this environment where I kind of am siding with Intel on this one. The fact that you're constantly questioning them and asking them, are you failing like everybody else is saying that you're failing? And they're saying, no, we're not. Please stop asking. And then they're like, oh, but you didn't say that you're succeeding. You didn't say that you're moving forward. It just feels like a gotcha that's like a no-win game here. It's why I've tried to move away a little bit from breaking news. We're on a very fixed schedule when it comes to Hot News. We release at the same time every day. I try to record at the same time every day. And if I miss something, oh well, I'll catch it next time. And by the time I usually catch it, if I miss it for Friday's episode of Hot News, there's a clarification to the report that came out so that I can actually report the real thing that happened when it comes time on Monday. I do my best to bring you guys the most validated news and funnest rumors that are out there, but at the same time, the only people who really know what are going on are the people at the top, the people behind the scenes. And honestly, just because we're speculating on something doesn't mean that it's ever actually going to come to fruition. So that's the entire tricky story right there. Is Intel's discrete graphics department dead? One person is saying it is, Intel's saying it's not. You choose who to trust. But Intel also coming out and talking about Raptor Lake and how it's gonna be mighty fast, giving us some single-threaded performance, multi-threaded performance, and some indication that it could potentially boost up to 6 gigahertz. The 13900KS might actually pass 6 gigahertz. But with the Tech Tour event happening in Israel, Intel confirmed to Ian Cuttress that Raptor Lake is going to have 15% better single-threaded performance, 41% better multi-threaded performance, and that is based on a singular benchmark, not an aggregated set of benchmarks like AMD presented. So this could potentially be better over the whole, or it could potentially be worse over the whole, depending on how Intel's improvements are going to actually work out. But this is coming from higher IPC on the Raptor Cove P cores. It's coming from the higher frequency of 5.7 gigahertz, and it's coming from the multi-threaded gains of having better IPC on the E cores, which Raptor Lake is going to have more of those. So Intel themselves confirming Raptor Lake should be much faster. What that translates into in real world performance, we'll have to wait and see for third-party benchmarks, just like we're waiting to see what Ryzen 7000 looks like from third-party benchmarks. But Intel making it very clear that 13th gen should at least be very, very competitive with AMD's latest setup. And today's latest episode sponsor is a doozy. Watch it, you'll love it, I promise. My friends, today's video is sponsored by ClickBot, which as you can see right here is a fun little guy who's a great coding robot that you can give as a gift to your friends and family or check out for yourself because it's good for both education and it's highly entertaining, like he's trying to entertain us right now. This guy's called Back, and he has his own personality, which is separate from Bick, who's the guy on wheels who likes to roam around your office causing havoc. You good, buddy? Yeah, you're good? Okay. So ClickBot's a programmable robot toy that comes with fun personalities. It's extremely modular. The kits come with different parts that you can piece and place together, and it makes building robots like building blocks. And ClickBot's also a robotics creation platform that allows you to build robots and share your ideas online with a ton of other people. The best part is, it's modular. You can create your own designs. You can follow the guides that they have as an easy introduction to both building the robot, but then also programming. And it's designed for unlimited creativity and fun. And these guys are also built for real-time response so that it can interact with both you as well as the environment that it's placed in. Isn't that right? You like that, Back? Yeah. You like the rubs? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Yeah. And it can also help for you to learn to code. With the ClickBot STEM robot, you can select movement directions to get ClickBot to move or design your robot on the ClickBot app through an easy drag and drop coding interface based on Blockly. You can even input your own code to build a robot that can do virtually anything. If you look in the app, there's tons of ways that you can get inspired by the community to find your own robot to build. If you think ClickBot is cute, you're gonna absolutely love Luna, which is the most intelligent pet bot made by the same company. It's gonna be so playful and affectionate that you'll forget she's a robot. It's launching soon on Kickstarter, and you can check that out at the link in the video description. ClickBot itself is so much fun to play with. I can't imagine having an intelligent pet bot that's just roaming around your house. It's been a blast to play with the ClickBot. I introduced you to Back here. Yeah, you want to smile for the camera? You guys should check it out at the link in the video description. ClickBot is both available on Amazon as well as on their own website. Check it out at the link in the video description. Learn to code, build robots, great for yourself, great for a gift. ClickBot is just pretty fun, aren't you, buddy? Check them out at the link in the video description. Big thanks to ClickBot for sponsoring today's video. Now let's go ahead and get on into the Cryptostonks. Bitcoin having a solid day, up 3.3% to be at 22,395. Ethereum down 2.5% to be at 1,700 bucks, and Dogecoin down just a little bit to be at 6.3 cents. But get prepared because this is the week of the Ethereum merge. Google even putting out a countdown on their website based on the difficulty and hash rate of the current Ethereum network of when the merge is going to happen, where Ethereum should switch from proof of work, where mining on GPUs is how you get the Ethereum stuff, versus proof of stake, where it doesn't rely on the GPUs at all. 2 days, 9 hours, based on the way things are currently going. So it should be sometime in September 15th, which is the expected time frame. And I expect that Reece has the hottest tech deals out on the internet for you. What you got for us, buddy?
I just need to start today's UFD deals off by telling you that everything Brett said up to now is complete nonsense. Like everything. What isn't nonsense though is today's deals. Actually, these are nonsense. This is the price it should have been the entire time. Because we have the MSI RTX 3090 Ti Gaming X Trio 24G going for only $1,079.99, which is $1080 off or a whole 50% off. Obviously, this is the lowest price in 30 days, so do with that what you will. Me personally, I'm still going to be angry at them for having the prices up so high in the first place. But if you need something to pair that with, the ViewSonic Elite XG270Q is currently going for only $259.99, which is $150 off. This is their 27-inch 1440p 1 millisecond response time, 165 Hz gaming monitor that is G-Sync compatible and has display HDR 400 certification. Don't forget, you can find all these deals and more linked in the video description, and I'm about to disappear where Brett can never find me. Cheers.
Yee. Oh, that was sweet. Thank you, Reece. Please don't ever leave sensitive UFD material in a hotel, please. You too, Kyler. Okay, well, Meta left their Meta Quest Pro in a hotel room, at least somebody associated with the organization, and it was found and posted online because no good thing goes unleaked in today's internet age. And you can see the Meta Quest here, Pro, the thing, whatever the heck it's called. It's Project Cambria. Look at that bad boy. We obviously don't have specs or pricing or a superb amount of details, but there's a lot of cameras. This is supposed to be the higher end VR headset. I really don't understand Meta's strategy when it comes to VR at this point, especially with them raising the price on the Quest 2 recently. It was a weird move. It was a weird flex. But Meta's not just making strange decisions, they're also making good decisions for the entirety of Linux, because they're spinning off PyTorch into its own AI research foundation. The PyTorch framework becoming its own thing, the PyTorch Foundation, which is going to be a subsidiary of the larger Linux Foundation nonprofit hegemony. PyTorch being a framework for AI research and development, and there's going to be plenty of founding members, including AMD, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Meta, Microsoft Azure, and NVIDIA, with tons of other companies in order to spin it off. So Meta making good decisions for the benefit of the entire Linux community as a whole, and Robert Hallock making a decision that benefits him and hopefully the future company that he joins, because he announced on LinkedIn that he's going to be stepping down from AMD after 12 years there. He is the director of technical marketing. You likely have seen him if you've watched any of AMD's keynotes on their CPUs or GPUs. And while Robert Hallock hasn't announced where he's actually going, this is one of many continued departures from AMD over the last few years. It doesn't necessarily indicate that anything's wrong at the top, but it does seem to indicate that AMD is creating good talent that ends up going other places. And whether or not Robert Hallock ends up at Intel, who knows? We could potentially see that, as long as their GPU department isn't dead. And the hype for the 4090, I don't know if it's dead, but we got some new pictures of the Zotac RTX 4090, a new subset of GPUs called the Arrow is being pictured here. This is one that we haven't actually seen before, but this is being leaked out on the internet. Whether or not these are real, who's to say? I tend to lean towards it being real, especially since the font on this actually resembles the leaked Founders Edition 4090 that we saw recently, as well as the redesigned font that's on NVIDIA's updated website. So that kind of aligns. This also screams Zotac branding, and you can see the GPUs here. They're more rounded, which I actually really like, and it kind of looks like a car that's flipped over when you look at it like this. Triple slot, really deep, PCB ends here, the cooler continues on. This is kind of confirming all the things that we're hearing about these being very power hungry GPUs. And while it is triple slot, it looks like it actually might overhang as well, like be 3.5 slots. That could just be me imagining it, but if you look here, it's definitely at least 3 slots, if not more. It's a big thunkin' honkin' GPU, and I'm gonna big honkin' thunk on out of here. You need to get ready for tomorrow's hot news, as well as meme review, which we're gonna be hosting over on our Twitch channel. If you want to submit your memes for that over on our subreddit, you can do so, which will be linked in the video description. That being said, honkity chonkity, don't forget to water your buffalo.